Okay, so this is morning number 2 for these babies. So about 36 hours worth of Benson Ranch foolishness. We have a baby trying to dismantle my tripod. Do you know what this costs? Don't do that. So back there, way back there, is where their little stall is in pasture. We discovered yesterday that there was enough just grassy debris on the ground that these guys were looking like chia pets. And we had trouble raking it up and whatnot. So my husband, the little pressure, has offered to power wash the dirt so that we're down to dirt. So of course we will have mud. And I was afraid that the puppies would be scared of the noise. I don't know if I'm right or not, but I don't like to scare puppies. So we decided that we'd carry them across the barnyard, through that gate, and into this field. And this field was on the agenda for a week or so from now. I didn't think that they were quite ready for this. This is one of my favorite training fields because of the size of it. That's Cameo and Teddy, and Cameo is against the gate there, and she is, well, here's a better look at Cameo. Cameo is one of my favorite dogs ever. Cameo is a retired breeding dog, and she's a really good mentor dog. Teddy hasn't been around puppies, but he's very interested in them. So the field goes like this, and there's quite a lot that they're exposed to here. Up farther away, see if I can find it. It's always hard to find in the viewfinder. There's cows up there. Those lumps are 2 adult dogs and a 8-month-old dog, so Atlas is over there. So they're supervising. The house is right here. I have a mini Aussie and a mini Schnauzer that run outside and scream from that yard, and the border collie who screams from the yard, and the cars are here. And twice a day on this property, UPS and FedEx blaze up the driveway because of my husband's veterinary business and bringing drugs. So there's just an awful lot of stimulus in this field, and the puppies have the ability to get away from it if they have their wits about them. They can go in that stall and hide out. Yesterday when we offered them the ability to go out in their little lane for a little bit in the morning, they only went about 15 feet out of the building and then turned around and went back inside. Towards the end of the day, they were willing to follow Olga all the way to the end of their little lane. We were going to carry them across this morning, and I thought about that, and I didn't raise these puppies, so I don't know as much about what they're ready for right now. But puppies of this age of mine would have good recall, and I'd be able to be interesting enough, if I did it quickly, that I could get everybody to follow me. And because I have help, because I have me in the front and Olga in the back, I decided to go for easy. So opened the gate and took off with them, and they blazed right through the barn. And sometimes they don't. Sometimes puppies will kind of broadcast around in there. Sometimes when I throw the gate open, they back up and they say, wait. Sometimes they get to the front of that big barn and they hit the area where the shadow of the interior of the barn lines up with the gravel on the driveway, and so it's a line, and they skid and they don't want to walk across the line. So there's lots of things that they could have done, but what they did was just run with me, and they all stayed together, and they just flew across here and up and down. And then once they got in here, they went all over the place, and they've been on all the edges. And the goat herd came up and checked them out. Teddy and Cameo checked them out. I mean to tell you, it is a fine time being had today. And puppies that are feeling a little less safe will all stay together in a group, and they'll stay close to a building or close to a fence. And these puppies are not doing that. There's a couple that I've lost track of that I think, there they are, coming around that edge. They're off investigating on their own, so that's just 2 puppies. That's the purple butt, and I don't know who else is over there. But trucking around very independently, not a care in the world. Olga's got some chicken, and she's doing the second clicker work with these guys. And look at those little intentional that purple tail was making you pay yesterday, wasn't she?
Yes. Well,
yeah.
She's doing really good.
She says, I want you to walk to me and give me chicken. So we're teaching them recall this morning. When I came across the yard with them, I partied hard and got them all jacked up, and they all ran with me, and we got in here and went, yay, puppies, and cuddled them all up and made it just the coolest thing ever. When I brought their food into them. As I was setting it down, I did the same thing. Yay, puppy, coolest thing ever. And so they ran over and they ate the food. When we put the swimming pool in, it was, yay, puppy, coolest thing. Olga's walked around here with them, and we've done the same thing. So they're learning to pay attention to our hands. They're learning that our voice means something. They're learning that our body position means something. Boy, look at those guys. Teddy, good dog. What a nice guy, Teddy man. Good boy. So this is an awful lot to learn here this morning, man. This is like A+ smorgasbord, don't you think, Olga? I mean, there's not much else to add, right?
No.
We got chicken, we got clicker, we got mentor dogs, we got noise, we got everything. Nice job. And we know that the puppies are not overfaced by this because they're able to manipulate Olga, and they're willing to stay with her. Watch the behavior of those puppies. Very few of them are gnawing on her pants and putting their feet on her because they're thinking about what else they can do to interact with her, because she's been giving them other options and making it pay. That's the little red-tailed boy that she just clicked. Little purple butt over there is snuggling Cameo. We brought Cameo in here for a minute because she wanted to come and visit, and she blew in here, and they all fanned out behind her like Pied Piper, and she made a really fast loop in this field, outrunning them. And then she looked at me and she looked at the gate, so I went over to the gate and opened it, and she flew past and out. They were a little bit like, yay, mom's here. And so a short visit was what she was looking for. And then they lost interest in her and went back to do other things. Nice. Impressive puppies.
Good.
Super good. My dear husband is back there making mud out of their lane and doing that project for me, and I hadn't planned on putting them in here, so there was a mini donkey jack in here, so there's piles of poop that are too cool to not chew on, and I don't want them to do that. So I'm going to shut the camera off and rake this field, or rake the poop piles out of it, which won't take me very long, but the surface in here is better because we were able to use our cyclone rake and vacuum it, so there's nothing in here that'll hurt them. So probably what we'll do, because they're so obviously enjoying themselves, we'll probably leave them in here today, but I'll put them back where everything is safe tonight. It is not wise to find the farthest edges with puppies. It's wise to quit while you're ahead. If I don't ask the question, if I don't raise the bar, I don't know how much they're capable of, but I want to quit before I feel like I have to.
Purple is a star.
I see that. So is this little red tail guy. He's definitely inclined to vote about how he feels about life, which is great. So they're very loose and active. They're fast. Scared puppies are slower. Their heads are up, they're tall, or their noses are down and investigating, but nobody is slinky. Nobody's, they're just leaving each other, coming and going and fanning all around and going at a canter instead of a careful walk. I mean, all their body language tells me that this is just a really Disneyland adventure, and Olga and Chicken, oh my, is the icing on the cake. And they've really learned a lot since yesterday about how to take Chicken from her fingers and about what it's going to take to get her to give some. She's such a tough little nut.
Yeah.
That was the little orange one.
Orange, yes.
And then we have somebody over here taking a bath again. She just needed a quick dip and she's back to coming to you. Anyway, really nice job.
Finally, good boy.
The first 48 hours of transition for any LGD, I call it golden hours. They're looking at their, especially older dogs. I don't know how much this is true for puppies. I haven't put that all together in my mind. But for older dogs, adolescent dogs even, when they move to a new property, they're taking it all in as new, and so they're cataloging everything that is not novel for the property. So they're trying to figure out what's normal. And then after about 48 hours, anything that's new is new to their new normal, if that makes sense. I'm probably not saying that very well. So I make an effort to expose dogs to quite a lot in the first 48 hours because it's often easier on them to do that than it is to add one new thing once a day for the next 3 weeks kind of deal, because LGDs are sensitive to novel situations. But puppies are programmed to be or sponges and just suck up everything as novel, so it probably isn't as true for them. So with these guys, I just want to make really, really sure that all I do
Oh my gosh.
is create puppies that are so brave that they think that anything I do to them is totally possible. And Debbie clearly did that with them before they came to me, and they're doing that now. And oh my goodness,
You're still sitting?
what a difference.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yes. You're so good. Okay, keep moving. Keep moving. Come on. Yes. Keep
They're getting maybe too tired to do
I think it's the end of it.
the recall thing. They're probably fighting naps.
Yeah. I think I'm done.
I think that's fine.
That was so good. Thank you, puppies. Thank you, puppies. Thank you, puppies.